Most people assume that growing up fast is a strength, that becoming mature early makes you wiser, tougher, more capable. But psychology tells a more complicated story. When someone is forced to grow up too fast, it doesn't just shape their personality, it reshapes their nervous system, their emotional wiring, and the way they see the world. These are the people who learned responsibility before they learned safety, who learned control before they learned comfort. And while the world often praises them for being so strong, very few people stop to ask what that strength actually cost. Psychologists call this accelerated adulthood. It happens when a child has to take on emotional or practical roles that are far beyond their age. Maybe they had to be the emotional support for a parent. Maybe they grew up in chaos, instability, or neglect. Maybe no one was there to protect them, so they learned to protect themselves. On the outside, they often appear calm, capable, even impressive. But internally, their brain learned one powerful lesson very early. There is no room for weakness. One of the most common traits of people who grew up too fast is hyperindependence. They don't like asking for help. They don't trust that others will show up for them. Psychology explains this clearly. When help wasn't reliable in childhood, the brain adapts by eliminating the expectation of support. These people become extremely self-sufficient, not because they want to be, but because dependence once felt dangerous. They learned that needing others leads to disappointment, so they stopped needing altogether. Another deep pattern is emotional suppression. Children who grow up too fast often don't have space to feel. Fear, sadness, confusion. Those emotions didn't feel safe or welcome, so the brain learned to shut them down. As adults, this shows up as emotional numbness or delayed emotional reactions. They may appear cold or detached, but in reality, they simply never learned how to process emotions in real time. Their feelings didn't disappear, they just went underground. These individuals also tend to be highly alert to other people's moods. They can sense tension in a room instantly. They notice small changes in tone, body language, or energy that others completely miss. This isn't intuition, it's survival conditioning. As children, they had to monitor their environment constantly to stay safe. Their nervous system became finely tuned to threat detection. The downside is that their body often stays in a state of quiet stress, even when nothing is actually wrong. People who grew up too fast also struggle with rest. Slowing down feels uncomfortable. Doing nothing feels unsafe. Productivity becomes their coping mechanism. If they're busy, they feel in control. If they stop, their mind fills with unresolved thoughts and emotions. Psychology shows that rest requires a sense of safety. And when safety was missing early on, rest can feel like a loss of control rather than recovery. Another overlooked trait is difficulty receiving care. Compliments feel awkward. Kindness feels suspicious. Love feels conditional. When affection was inconsistent or attached to performance in childhood, the brain learns that care must be earned. As adults, these people often overgive in relationships while feeling deeply uncomfortable receiving anything in return. They equate worth with usefulness, not with existence. Their sense of responsibility is also unusually strong. They feel accountable for things that are not actually theirs to carry. Other people's emotions, other people's problems, other people's happiness. This often leads to burnout and resentment, but stepping back feels selfish. Psychology explains this as internalized role confusion. When a child becomes the caretaker, that role doesn't automatically disappear with age. It becomes an identity. People who grew up too fast also have a complicated relationship with control. Uncertainty makes them anxious. They plan ahead, anticipate problems, and prepare for worst-case scenarios. Control feels like safety, but the cost is chronic tension. Their mind rarely rests in the present moment because it's always scanning the future for threats. Romantic relationships can be especially challenging. They crave deep connection, but vulnerability feels risky. They may attract partners who need fixing or saving because that role feels familiar. Or they may push away healthy intimacy because it feels unfamiliar and uncomfortable. Psychology shows that the nervous system is drawn to what it recognizes, not necessarily what is good for it. Despite all of this, these individuals are often highly capable, resilient, and insightful. They see patterns others miss. They handle pressure well. They stay calm in crises. But what the world calls strength is often a nervous system that never learned how to relax. Their resilience was forged in adaptation, not choice. The hidden cost of growing up too fast is that joy often comes late. Playfulness can feel foreign. Carefree moments can feel undeserved. Their inner child didn't disappear. It simply learned to stay quiet. And until that part is acknowledged, life can feel like constant effort without ease. Healing for these individuals doesn't mean becoming weak. It means learning safety. It means teaching the nervous system that rest is allowed, that support can be real, that emotions don't need to be controlled to be survived. Psychology shows that healing begins when responsibility is returned to where it belongs and when self-worth is no longer tied to survival skills. Growing up too fast may have made you strong, but strength doesn't have to mean carrying everything alone. The moment you stop measuring your value by how much you can endure is the moment your life begins to soften. And that softness isn't a loss. It's recovery. If you recognize yourself in this, understand this one thing clearly. What you adapted to was not normal, but your response was intelligent. Your mind did what it needed to do to survive. Now it deserves the chance to live.